Couch flipping is often perceived as a profitable side hustle. All you do is make profit, buy expensive cars, and retire in about a few months.
Алло, слушай, Юра, где моя яхта?
The reality is, there is no business out there that's just butterflies and sunshine. The real truth is that all businesses require you to put in a lot of effort to become profitable and successful. We've all heard that failure is part of success, and I'm here to tell you that that is most definitely true. I've been couch flipping for about 9 months, and along this journey, I've been introduced to the dark side of business. It might not be as terrible as I might make it sound to be, but I just wanted to share the ugly side of business with you guys that most people don't share. About 5 months ago, I had a lady reach out to me that was interested in one of my sectional couches. I had this one posted for a pretty cheap price, which was $140. I had it posted for so low because it had stains on it, and I did mention that in the advertisement. She wanted me to deliver it about 12 miles, which is a bit further than what I would normally deliver for a free delivery service, but I agreed this time because I just wanted to get rid of it and she seemed like a very hopeful client. So I just gotta send you guys a quick update for that white sectional that we had a hard time to clean. So I came to drop off the couch. The lady said she was gonna pay extra for delivery, which altogether should have been $140. And then when I arrived, she wasn't answering, and she wasn't answering, and she wasn't answering. And then I finally told her, because she said she couldn't take money out of her bank account, and so she said all she had was $40. So I mean, I drove all the way out here. It was like a 35-minute drive, and it's gonna be a 35-minute drive home. At that point, I was a little bit frustrated, to say the least, so I decided to take a little risk. So I went and I smashed all of their windows in their house. I didn't actually do that as much as maybe I wanted to, but the risk that I decided to take was to accept the $40 that she had with the hopes of her paying me back a week later, which is what she said she would do. Also, I was already there, so if she were to take the couch from me, it would just free up some inventory space that I really needed. I had not done that before, so I guess you can say this was me testing faith in humanity. As you expected, after I left, I reached out to her probably a total of 6 times over a span of a few weeks, and she kept postponing, saying she was gonna pay me back, and she eventually didn't, and I just stopped messaging her because clearly she probably needed the money more than I did. I don't want to say that moving forward I'm not going to trust people. I just think that I might be a little more careful, and I don't know, maybe get a picture of their ID or something just so they feel obligated that they will have to pay because I have a picture of their ID. A very similar situation came up about a few months later when I had a client reach out to me about one of my sofas, and I was in a pretty vulnerable state at that moment. And the reason why is because I just wanted to get rid of this couch. So this lady that reached out to me, she did have quite a few 5-star reviews on OfferUp, so I felt pretty safe and, confident in the fact that I was gonna sell this couch. And like many other clients, she sent me an address immediately telling me that she would like it delivered as soon as possible. And so that's exactly what I did. I loaded it up and I headed over to get it dropped off. After I arrived, I knocked on the door and an elderly couple opened up the door, and they were just looking at me like I was some creep because they were not aware of anyone that lived in their household with the name Ruth, which was the person that I was supposed to deliver to, and they just told me no one lived at that address and no one requested a couch. So at this moment, I'm pretty confused because something's not matching up.
I said, hold on.
The person that gave me the address doesn't live there, and so I reach out through messages, and this lady tells me she's gonna be right out. She got caught up because her child was crying and so forth. And so she tells me start unloading it, and I'm telling her I'm not gonna start unloading it because the address is wrong. And long story short, she kept telling me this, start unloading it, I'll be right out. And this went on for like 10 minutes. And finally, after 10 minutes, I just stopped replying and I left. And so after I left, I think either she or we exchanged phone numbers, and I gave him a call. And I could clearly tell that it was a little child on the other side of the line. Someone was trolling me, basically. And obviously, I was a bit frustrated because I spent a lot of time getting over there because of traffic, and I was really busy that day. But oh well, these kind of things happen, and that's exactly why I'm sharing this video. Clients not being transparent with the condition of the couch has not been as common as I probably expected it would be. There have been multiple times where I've arrived to pick up a couch that was described as in great condition, and after I would show up, it would not be in great condition. One time I arrived picking up a sectional couch that I expected obviously to be in great condition for $280. After I paid them the money, we started loading up the couch, and so we ended up picking up the first piece. loaded it up, and after I came to pick up the second piece, the whole back side of the couch was ripped. And it wasn't like a rip that was like an accidental rip. It looked like someone literally took a knife and just slashed the whole back of the couch. It was a bit of an unfortunate situation, kind of my fault that I paid him early, but the man was nice enough and he fully refunded me the money and asked me to toss it for him. And I knew that I could get something for it, so obviously I agreed. Those who have recently sold items on Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp know that scams are through the roof. A familiar one that I think many of you guys are familiar with is when the scammer asks you for a phone number where they want to confirm if you're a real person. And once you send them the phone number, they send you a code to your number and ask you for that code. And a lot of vulnerable people agree and they do send that code to the scammer. And so what that scammer basically does is then he gets access to possibly your bank account, possibly other confidential accounts that you wouldn't want a scammer to have access to. A new scam that has arisen, Verizon, T-Mobile. A new scam that has arisen recently is something that I would call along the lines of Zelle scam. So I had someone reach out to me and ask me if I could deliver a couch to them, and they would send me an address that was a legit address not far away from me and asking me when I could deliver. And after we would agree, they would tell me that they would send me money through Zelle. And in this specific situation, the price of the couch was $595. And so once I would send them my email address that was connected to my Zelle account, they would tell me that they sent money, but Zelle sent instructions to me, the seller, that I have to follow to get that money, which in this case was $595. And so I'll put the instructions right here, but basically what the instructions say, like, I have to send $405 back to the buyer, and once I do that, $1,000 is going to be deposited on my account, because $595 of the couch plus $405 that I would send to the buyer, I would get $1,000 back. To me, who's someone been in business for quite a long time, obviously that sounds very sketchy, but the unfortunate part is there are so many people out there that fall for such, I'd say, stupid scams, but for some people it's not as obvious as it is for other people, and unfortunately they fall for them. There have been quite a few times where I wished I could have foreseen something, but obviously not everything can be foreseen in business. 3 months ago, I went to sell an L-shaped couch to a client in downtown Portland, and after arriving, we started taking the couch into the elevator because he lived on the 5th floor, which I did not know about at that moment. And after we tried fitting it into the elevator, it would just not fit. No matter how we tried to put it in, it just wouldn't fit. After that happened, we were like, oh, let's just take it up the stairs. This is where I made a mistake. I did not ask the customer on what floor he lived on. So after we got the couch into the hallway of the staircase, I asked him, what floor do you live on? And he told me the 5th floor. And at that moment, I was like, what did he say? We started dragging it up vertically up 5 flights of stairs, and this was a narrow staircase. So the final headache of couch flipping are customer returns. For all of my couches, I say that the sale is final, and by final I mean I cannot take it back, because you had all the opportunities you had to take a look at it before you purchased it. Last week I had a very hairy and smelly couch that was pretty tough to clean, and so after we did the best we could, we posted it back up on OfferUp in Facebook Marketplace. I posted that it was from a pet-friendly home and that it did have a lot of hair. And so when I had a client reach out about it, I asked her, I'm like, do you want to come and check it out in person? And the message that I got back was, no, I'll take it as is. For that price point, I'd be fine with cleaning it myself. So what do? Well, I obviously go and deliver, and that's exactly what I did. I went and delivered it to her 5th floor apartment in downtown, which was fine because we used the elevator. Well, what happens next is she reaches out to me a week later asking me if I could refund her the money, because she says the couch is fully destroyed. She said there's mold on the inside, it smells really bad, and to be honest, I told her I did not notice any mold, because obviously if there was mold, I would have never sold it to her. So I reached back out to her and I told her, well, you had all the opportunities you had to come and take a look at it. I offered you to come look at it. You declined to do so. I also told you it's from a pet-friendly home, but you said you're fine and you will clean it yourself. So Unfortunately, I'm not obligated to give you a refund. But because this lady was being very nice to me and she wasn't causing a whole scene, I did end up agreeing to refund her 50% of the couch. And honestly, I don't really like problems, especially when it comes to this kind of stuff and, you know, ruining the whole reputation of the business. And so I was fine with doing that. Any and every business will probably cause you a headache, but the most important thing is the reward. There may be many risks, like I mentioned before, with starting a business, but most of the time, the reward outweighs the risk. To see the rewards of couch flipping, feel free to check out this video right here where I made over $100 flipping couches. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please drop a like, and until the next video,
До свидания.